Hey guys, welcome to our weekly AgSolver videos. My name is Curtis, and today we're going to be walking you through how to create different scenarios in our Profit Zone Manager application. Now, if you're a little unfamiliar with our application, I would encourage you to go back and look at some of our previous videos that give you a really nice walkthrough on how to use our application and just kind of a brief overview of how they can benefit your operation. But like I said, in today's video, we're going to be walking you through how to create different scenarios in our application. And what the scenarios allow you to do is they allow you to look at different management options that you're considering for your operation and then compare them side by side to look at which scenario is going to give you the better ROI on your operation. So like I said, we're going to create a different scenario. So what we do is we come in here and we'll click on Copy Scenario, and what that allows us to do is it allows us to look at our different actual productions that we have and create a carbon copy on any one that we choose. So in this case, we're going to choose our actual production 2010, and we're going to name our scenario KimPass 1. As you know, this year was a pretty big year for fungicide application. It was a pretty wet year with a big problem with northern leaf blight, and so we're going to look at an option that we were considering putting on a fungicide. So we'll go ahead and click Save, and what that's doing is it's creating a carbon copy of our actual production 2010. So what we do then is we come in and we add a zone. Now there's a couple of different ways we can do this. One, if we were just considering part of the field for a scenario, we can come in, click and draw our points around a certain area of the field. Or if we wanted to, we can come in here and we can do a whole field zone. So in this case, we're going to look at creating a whole field zone scenario. And we simply do that by clicking this whole field zone button. When you do that, it automatically selects the whole field boundary, and so you don't have to go in and draw it manually, basically. What we're going to come in and do is we're going to come in and name our zone, and we're just going to call it fungicide. Our target yield is where we input what we think we can achieve with a certain scenario. So in this case, let's say we'll get a 5% yield increase from applying a fungicide. If you don't want to do a percentage, we can come in here and we can define an average yield. So let's say if you didn't want to do a 5% increase, if you knew you would get 200 bushel increase, you come in here and define that as well. Our budget is the exact same that we just carbon copied from our actual production. So what we're going to come in and do is, if we know that applying a fungicide is going to increase our herbicide / insecticide costs, we can come in here and we can add $30 to this, and let's just make it $70 per acre. This is where your budget, you get to kind of get down to the nitty-gritty on where you think your costs are going to be and how we can adjust those to better suit the scenario that we just created. So we're going to leave everything else the same, just saying that we're putting on a fungicide that's going to increase our fungicide cost by $30 per acre. We'll hit Save. What that's doing now is it's being transferred off to the worker, and in a second we'll be able to scroll down here and look at the overall impact from farming it as applying a fungicide. So right now we can view our original performance without the fungicide, and we can see that right now we have a 20% ROI, or we're making about $162 per acre. If we come over here with the fungicide, with the 5% yield increase that we've chosen, along with the additional fungicide cost of $30 per acre, we can see that we're making $181 per acre, or around 22% ROI. So right now this is just comparing a whole field level of your farming it originally as opposed to applying a fungicide. But what we can also do is, let's say we have more than one scenario created. So we also have this pollinator scenario right here that we've also created. So this is basically saying that we've came in here and we've taken this cutout area out of production and we've stopped farming it and putting it into a CRP program. So what we can do is we can come in here and we can compare these two scenarios side by side. Now granted, they're really not the same basis on the scenario. One is more of a conservation practice and one is a chemical pass, but what we can get the idea is comparing two different management options side by side and seeing the impact of both of them, and then basically coming to a conclusion on which operation is going to work best. So as we can see, again, our KimPass, we're making around 22% ROI. If we come in and let's say we don't want to do that, maybe we just want to take some acres out of production, we can see that we're making about 24% ROI. Again, just farming everything normally, but instead just taking these acres out of production and putting them into a CRP program. So again, that's the benefit of the scenarios. In the weeks to come, we'll get into more nitty-gritty scenarios such as nitrogen use cases where we're applying nitrogen mid-season, and we'll also look at some different variable rate scenarios and precision planting scenarios as well. As always, if you guys have any questions, please be sure to contact AgSolver, and thanks for watching.